They've been keeping the ship afloat, filling our hearts, souls, and ears with the gospel of love, community, and rock and roll. This is Lune, the band. Lune the band is in the house. We've got Nataniel, aka South. We've got Patrick, and we've got Brett here hanging out at Theory One Studio. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the show, and welcome to Theory One Studios.
Yeah, thank you.
It's very nice here.
Thanks so much. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So she had a couple of great tracks. I love the energy you guys always bring into the room. I actually had a couple of moments when you guys were recording in here, and I was in the other room. Where I almost applauded after you got done. I was like, wait, this is not the appropriate environment for that. So,
I mean, it's always appropriate, right? Like,
it's true. It's true.
We embrace all of that kind of chaos and things that shouldn't go in those environments. Like, I'm a big fan of that stuff.
Yeah, well, and I think we need to, give more props in this culture, like elevate each other a little more. So, yeah. So last time we talked, it was I think 2024. Maybe the latest album, The Ship Sails On, was just about out at that time.
Yeah, I think were we in mastering?
We gave this really teasing discussion of like, it's gonna come out, we don't know when, and maybe it will have come out already, and you don't know. So yeah, we were like stumbling through the last couple steps of like, how do we actually pick a date to get it out there? But yeah, and it's out now. We did it.
It is.
Yeah, we did.
You did the thing. Yeah. As I recall, actually, already several people had received the album at that point. That was the whole thing, right?
Discovered during the conversation.
I don't know what anyone's talking about.
Yeah. So how do you decide who gets to hear the album ahead of the release?
There is no way that I'm going to get into that on a mic. No.
There's no deciding process. It's all just hey, I need an opinion.
Yeah. It
So.
it is I think that was even the joke the last time is it's like catch me or any one of these guys on the right day at the right time depending on where we're at in the process, and you'll probably get something, sent to your email going, "Hey, tell us what you think of
Yeah,
this,"
check out the album. Yeah.
Also, you just get you put so much collective energy into the thing, and I know it is very hip in some ways for artists to be aloof with their desire for interaction with other people and feedback, and where I also would say that I don't ever write a song. I don't think these guys ever collaborate on a Lune the Band song where we are really consciously thinking of someone else. You want that like you don't make this for people to not hear it and not be moved by it, hopefully, and react to it, hopefully. So yeah, you get antsy towards the end there where you're just like, I want this thing that I'm proud of to be out in the world and people to be able to hear it, and I
Yeah.
want to know if it's as cool as I think it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, and just to let you know, the album was as cool as I think you think it is. So,
Thank
yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So, how has that felt? It's been about a year now, right, since the album's been out.
It'll be a year next month.
That's wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, right about this time, this hitting the feed for everybody.
Mm.
So, how's that felt with that year, with that album behind you under your belt?
It spurred us to play a bunch more shows, and we've gone through periods of time where we don't play a lot, then we play a bunch, then we don't play a lot, and so it's been, for me, it's been really great to have a specific new thing to want to go and play for people and with
Yeah.
these guys. So it spurred a lot more live shows, and that's where all the joy is for me, is in the live stuff. So
Yeah.
just sharing those new songs and be able to talk about the stories and talk about the music with people at shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing for me is like in the last year, every single show we've played, I can't think of one where it was oh man, that could have been better. Like I think we've all walked away from every single show like really happy with it, whether there's a ton of flubs in the music or not. Like emotionally, we just walk away very high on life.
Yeah. It's it has been good to just have something that for me is so personal out in the world, and I think something that is potentially important for the people that it needs to find when they find it and they listen to it. But I also, like, I was thinking about that on the drive to here about how to Patrick's point, I once said to, I think it might have been to Nat or about spaceships specifically. I was talking about how, oh, they've gotten to that point where I don't think they can capture that on record anymore. And if you're very, very lucky as a band, and it's very hard to explain to people what I mean by that, because it's not a bad thing. If you're very lucky and you find the right people to make music with, you can get to a point where it's probably impossible to truly capture the live energy in a recorded place, like, because the recording process is what it is and is kind of a little bit more isolated from that specifically magical live energy that I think is really important and special. And so the record is something that I'm so proud of, and I think it's something that we recorded all ourselves, and Patrick did the heavy lifting on mixing it. I was there pretty much the whole time of the mixing, but mainly just as a second set of ears. He was doing that, and then Brett would come in. But that being said, having this very cool, very well-made record still doesn't hold the same place in my heart as it does those nights when we get to set up
Yeah.
and play music in front of people and get to have that energy interaction. I don't know, it's something that I keep trying to figure out how to explain it, because it sounds like I'm almost saying that recording's not important or worth it or not special, but it is. Like, that is a very specific way to paint the picture of these songs, and all of that process. And it's very cool and it's very fun, and I love the nerdy process of recording a record. But ever since I was a very broken 14-year-old and I stumbled into the hoi polloi and saw my first punk show, there is nothing that will ever make me feel as home and safe and as good as a loud fucking band on stage and a bunch of people screaming along to the words.
Yeah. It's communal is
Yes.
what
Yep.
it is. I mean, I've seen several of those shows this year that you guys have played. It's been nice to see you guys out and about more often this past year. So I've had those opportunities. And again, just now when you guys were playing, you can just feel that energy in a way that, yeah, you don't get it over a pair of headphones or over a stereo system,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an awesome thing. Glad you guys are out there playing a lot more shows, and hopefully you keep that up for a while.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
I always joke that I probably said the same stupid joke last time too. We're we're the
I'm sure they won't give you a hard time about it at all. So
not at all.
No.
We're the longest running band nobody still knows about. Talk about it.
so the album was it a conclusion to the Ships series? Is that sort of the end of that phase, or tell me a little bit about that?
Um yeah. Yeah, yes. The Ship series was always in my head, 3 records, even before I knew what they would be or how they would work. Um and it just so happens that emotionally it has worked out to be that. Like, this felt like not the last time I would talk about some of this stuff. Some of it is just ingrained into me, but the last time I would dedicate a whole record to be like a specific kind of exploration of my childhood and my traumas and my reactions to that. I have a lot of desire to keep writing songs and to keep going forward, but I would like to start pushing myself to get into other things that mean a lot to me. And this just felt like, I put it all out there. Like, to me, the whole record, um, and all 3 records together as a bigger piece. The first one is very much a person who is broken but doesn't know how to explain it, and so it's coming out in these drips and drabs, but it's not a cohesive thought. The second record is somebody who is at the absolute bottom. Like, it is such a testament to my 20s, and specifically my late 20s, when um it was the darkest I've ever place I've ever been at. And then this one, the Ship Sails On, is about surviving that. It's about getting to the other side of that trauma, and through work and therapy and learning to accept parts of myself, including that trauma. It is I think, a very intense but very hopeful record of, like, you can get through this. There is a place to get to. It doesn't just have to be the raw emptiness, which is what childhood trauma does. What severe childhood abuse and childhood trauma does is it takes that childhood from you. It takes a piece of you that should not be taken from a child. This idea of unconditional love and safety and just the protection to be a kid. I didn't have that from 8 or 9 on. Like, it was just not there. And that does a lot to you. Your brain hasn't fully developed yet. Like, you don't even know how to understand what's happening to you, and the toll that took on me. It took a long time for me to figure out my shit. And I know that there are lots of other folks out there who have gone through the same kind of thing. And to me, the ship sails on, from the artwork to the songs. The whole thing is this kind of like forward momentum of, yeah, but if you can get through this, and if you can accept yourself and accept what happened, then you can become a happy human being. And it is hard to explain to folks that for some of us, you don't think that. I went through decades of my life thinking that happiness was not a thing that I could have, that it was just something other people got. And when I listen to this record, and especially I think pretty obviously the last track, Don't Give Up the Ship, to me it is very much a final explanation of me to everyone, that you can both have that darkness and those experiences and become the kind of human that you want to become. And here I am with what's left of this shell of a man, down at the bar trying to drown my heart and these scars, with Jack, Jim Beam, and Jameson trying to make it all go away. Whiskey seems to be the only thing that helps with this pain. Now I am at it again, trying to drink myself back to sin. Now I am at it again, trying to let those demons in. Now I am at it again, trying to drink myself back to sin. Now I am at it again, trying to let those demons. She doesn't give a damn who I am anymore. And I remember a time when I didn't care about the goddamn girl. Now I'm trying to find a place on a Saturday night. Doesn't have couples holding hands, dancing slow and tight. Now I am at it again, trying to drink myself back to sin. Now I am at it again, trying to let those demons in. Now I am at it again, trying to drink myself back to sin. Now I am at it again, trying to let those demons. And round, around, drink till you drowned are the words the singer will scream. And I drink a toast to the ghost of all the things I have seen. 'Cause we're all trying so hard to be all the things that we're not. Like pretty and smart, yeah, and clever and hard, when we're all just weak and lost. And I am at it again, trying to drink myself back to sin. And I am at it again, trying to let the demons in. And I am at it again, trying to drink myself back to sin. And I am at it again, trying to let those demons win.
It's a very cathartic album, especially knowing the other two albums. You definitely have that sense of, as a listener, the sense of release, or like it definitely seems like we're ending on an upswing,
Yeah.
you know, which is great. So obviously that's a lot of you know, very heavy material, very introspective material. So as you look forward to future projects, um, do you expect them to be similarly introspective, or do you expect maybe to be taking on other themes, topics? What's the next set look like?
I feel like I'm talking so much. Um,
I just play drums.
I'll just play bass.
I love these guys. Honestly, they bring themselves to this, and they make the whole thing better. But yeah, it often starts with these kernel of ideas that start with me. And no, man, I'm a serious, intense person, so like that's not gonna go away. Like I think that where I want to target is going to change. But frankly, the first song I wrote post this record is about my mom, and we haven't had a chance to get that up on its feet, but it's ready to kind of go to the last phase with these guys, and then get eventually inserted into the live show. But it's a you know, it's a song about that kind of touches on some of the thing, because my mom was one of the people that abused me, but she herself was abused by my dad, and that's complex. But she passed away, and she passed away poor and broken down by capitalism, and it's about that. You know, it's a song about kind of you know, it's like she died with a reverse mortgage with the bank pointed like a gun at her head. You know, like it's so like I'm not gonna stop being me, I guess, is a
Sure.
way of saying that. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
change the target, so to speak.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things right now to talk about. There's a lot of important things happening that I think all three of us feel very passionate about. And now more than ever, you know, if you have a mic or a platform or a stage or a way of saying out loud to your community and to the greater society around us, that you are not, you know, going to be somebody who sits idly by while people get kidnapped off the street and sent into dark holes that we lose track of where they're at, who they're at, and children are being separated from their parents. And you know, all of my queer fam, in especially the trans community, is literally functioning in a waking, walking nightmare right now. So used to say that Lune is a political band that doesn't sing about politics, and I just want to change that. So like the next record, I hope it's more of like Lune's a political band and we fucking sing about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked last time about like the records, the past records, this record being very heavy, but also like at a Lune the Band show, there's joy in that show, right?
Yeah.
And there's something, the fact that it's not about the recording, the fact that it's about getting out and being in the community and creating an excuse for people to see each other face to face, you know, creating a safe space where we're not hiding, but is a safe space where we're going to be enjoying the fun things about life. Like that sense of levity is really important. That sense of joy is really important. The sense of expressing art and embracing the human nature of ourselves is really important, right? So the song topics will always be heavy, but the execution and the community around it is always also joyful.
Yeah.
Right? It's also joyful.
So talk about that a little bit more. You know, so Patrick and Brett, we were talking a little bit before that we sat down about this will come out after Bloodline, but the work you guys are doing in you know, building community amongst local musicians and local music fans and just people in the area, you know.
Yeah. I mean, what is this our 5th year?
Who knows? Time doesn't
I think it's our 4th or 5th of doing Bloodline. And Bloodline was kind of born out of a absence of, I think it was Take Hold Fest, right? Up in Michigan. They kind of quit doing that, and then we decided, well, you know, let's do this thing. And so it's been going for a while now, and it always ends up feeling kind of more of like just a hangout with really good music than it is about music. I mean, don't get me wrong, like we've brought in some bands that we end up finding out, oh, hey, this band's great, and now we're new friends with them. Yeah, I mean, it's I think for both Patrick and I, it's really about building on the community that's already here, finding, you know, people who are like-minded that just care and love at the baseline of it all. You know, whether you're trans, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether you're a Christian. It's about just having love for each other, and I think that's kind of what Lune represents is, and why we get the joy at those shows, even though the topics are heavy. You know, it's Lune's about stripping down and being honest and having a heavy conversation while also saying, you know, hey, I love you. And I feel like that comes across in a live show, which is why when we walk away, we feel this overwhelming joy, even though they're sad songs.
Yeah.
They're also sorry, I want you to talk about community stuff too, but that just made me think real quick of they're also fun songs. Like if you took the words away from most of them, they're bops, you know, like they're catchy, they're up tempo, and that's not on accident. Like I've always enjoyed that, like, well, if a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, right? So if like I'm gonna hit you with some like heavy shit, then I at least should have the decency to give you a nice sing-along chorus to go along with it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've been at those moments at your shows when, you know, At It Again, or like one of those moments where everyone in the room is like plugged into that moment and singing that lyric or clapping along. Like that does translate, and that does, you know, whether someone's coming from a dark day or whatever, like that does so much for all of us, you know. It is important.
Yeah. What it boils down to me is like we need more excuses to get out of our houses and see each other face to face. And that the festival thing, the live shows, the all of this stuff, community action, getting out, clean up the highway, making some food, whatever it is, like especially as us and our friends age, it's so easy just to stay home. It's so life in your four walls is usually so much easier than it is in public, and you get to insulate yourself from people you don't agree with. You get to insulate yourself from feeling empathy for people that you're seeing tactilely. You know, like I can see the texture of your skin, Justin. From my home computer, I don't see the texture of your skin, right? And so just creating those intentional calm excuses to see each other face to face and get in a room together and get a little sweaty and kind of understand some of the more gritty things that drive our commonalities and drive some kind of fertile soil for us to have real conversations instead of kind of a cold platform where we each throw our opinions out there and be mad and go to bed mad and wake up mad and then go back to the same cold, desolate internet platform to throw our opinions out, to get mad and stay mad and go to bed. Like it's just it's so important to me to see each other face to face. And if we gotta organize a music festival to get people to see each other face to face, like let's do that thing. And if the music festival doesn't work, then we'll do a board game night. And if the board game night doesn't work, we'll do a free market where people just bring their stuff and take stuff and meet each other while they're scrounging racks at the well. And it's just about seeing each other face to face to me.
I think that's the thing that's fun about it too is like we can go into the festival with this intention of creating a space to have deep conversations and all that, and everyone has a different experience. Like sometimes you show up and you just had fun, and that's what you needed, was just to show up and have fun. And other times you show up and you do end up in a deep conversation. You don't even watch 4 or 5 bands in a row because you're having that intense conversation that maybe you needed that week. So it's nice to create a space and be part of something where people can just get what they need regardless of where they're at when they show up.
In the day and time that we live in, this is October of 2025, and shit is as real as it has ever been in my lifetime. And you can't hide from that, or you should not hide from that. And to Patrick's point, like to get to someplace like the well, even on just I was there the other night. Some plans fell through. I was going to meet up with some people to talk through some community stuff. It didn't happen. So I just quietly drank my tea, and the place was packed on a Tuesday. And it was like, there was people in the big room having a talk about Palestine, I believe. And then there was a bunch of people just playing Magic, and then just even more people to just sit there and just remind myself that there are so many of us that are not Christo-fascists, and that what the government right now, the White House, what the Christian fascists want us to believe is that we are weak and they are strong, and we shouldn't even bother organizing because they're going to crush us and their will prevail. And that is always a lie with fascism. That is like the lie of fascism. Fascism by its nature is the opposite of what human beings want. It's always just a very small group of people who have bought in. And so to get into these places like the well, like Lang Lab, that remind you that there are other human beings that love and exist and more or less are on the same page with you. Maybe we don't agree with like every last little detail about what economic theory of politics we should follow, but we all know that people should have food and a house and be able to live their life without the fear of jackboots knocking down the door and separating them from their family. And to me, right now in this moment, that is more important than any of the other bullshit, is to remind yourself and connect as much as you can with your greater community and to continue to grow that community. And, it does not have to be as organized as a group with a name and an acronym or whatever. But it just being with other people and connecting with other people is why they're gonna lose. And that isn't to say that shit is not going to get hard, and bad stuff has already happened and will continue to happen. But in the greater, I'm not a nihilist. I'm not a doomer. I'm not black pilled. Whatever fun phrase for out of hope. I don't believe that at all. Like on my darkest, angriest day and moment, I still believe with all of me that they are going to lose and we are going to win. And if you are losing that, then to Patrick's point, you got to get out of your house. You got to get around other people. You got to remind yourself that there is more of us than them.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah. Loneliness is a tool that's used against us.
Mhm.
And the importance of, we were talking about this before we sat down, communing and finding joy and realizing, no, we are not alone. That is, I think, the most important. So,
Cornfields, dying shopping malls, lightning bugs. Indiana has it all. Horse and buggy, basketball, 4-H fairs. Indiana has it all. And I was born between the soybean and the corn, and I feel so connected to this land tonight. All of its people, Indiana. In the Ku Klux Klan headquarters, evangelical calls, 3% are militias. Indiana has it all. Abortion bans, Confederate flags, fucked up white men. Indiana has it all. And I was born between the soybean and the corn, and I feel so connected to this land tonight. All of its people, Indiana, Indiana. Every day feels the same, like I'm going a little insane, and every white fuck is a little to blame. Cornfields planted on the graves, native peoples that we've all laid to waste. The deep south up north.
so as we wind this down, I'm gonna kind of riff off that conversation we were having, Patrick, before. I'm gonna put the legal pad down even, and so I'm gonna ask each of you one at a time, and we'll start with you, Patrick. But in this moment in your life, in history, however you want to interpret this, I want to know, one, how are you challenging yourself, and then two, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I can't avoid what I've been talking about, thinking about the last couple days, and it's utterly simple. And what you and I talked about just earlier was how to balance all the micro stuff that's happening in your direct life, your family. It's like the problems that are the neighbors, and your kid doesn't sleep, and like job is stressful and whatever. Like there's all this micro stuff happening that every single person is dealing with, like all their bullshit in their direct life. And then there's all this macro stuff that we've kind of talked about a little bit too, is like all um the local, regional, national, international congratulations. You get to see everything on the news every day in its worst form. And just uh trying to figure out how not to be frozen by all of that and not know how to react or what to do at all. And what I have just returned to vowing myself every day is just that I'm going to interact with every person that I see from a point of love. Is like, how can I, in every single interaction that I have today, no matter how banal, no matter how mundane, like ordering Taco Bell, like picking up whatever from the grocery stores, like how can I see every single person as a human, and how can I posture myself in loving another person because they're another person, and in hoping so, like give them a little bit of piece of joy, give them a little reason to see the next person as a human. And it seems so simple and silly just to like, why can't we just see every single other person that we see face to face and just like recognize that they've also got macro and micro bullshit that they're dealing with. And I believe that most people are just trying to do their best, you know?
Yeah.
And so just where the interactions are shallow, making it as positive as possible.
Yeah. Awesome. And what are you looking forward to?
What am I looking forward to? Goodness. Yeah, Bloodlines in a couple weeks. That'll pass by the time this is out. It's maybe this is also silly. I don't know. I get a little time off work around the holidays, and it is always a reset for me to like just bask in a week of not being busy and accomplishing things and just relaxing and like play some video games and spend time with my family. And so I'm looking forward to, you know, in a couple months, spending some really intentional time of not being busy, because I tend to make myself busy year round. And
Yeah.
part of my like
Mhm.
lizard brain is now there's 1 week a year that I don't do that to myself, and now I can eat that candy when I get there. So yeah, maybe I should do that sooner, but that's what I'm planning to.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Rhett?
Oh, you brought two really hard questions that I was not prepared
My
to think
job,
of
what I
at
do.
all.
Oh.
As far as challenging myself, so I've kind of cut back on some stuff recently as far as like music and things like that, just to try and create some more balance. It's something that I've always tried to be mindful of. I'm trying to look at things in a different light in my own life personally. As far as like music and festivals and things like that, I'm part of trying to be more intentional about, rather than just doing the thing, how can I make this the best thing I can do? Sometimes that's really messy. Sometimes that's also, you know, focused on how am I as a parent, how am I as a husband, how am I as just a person. I think it's really easy to get caught up in the day to day to where you are not intentionally thinking about those things. You're not being intentional about how to react to a situation. It's really easy to just react. So yeah, I've been trying to challenge myself to look at things in a different light and really think about what the best reaction is and what the best solution is, rather than just hopping in and solving the thing. Because that's how I've always been. Is I've always had the attitude of like, okay, well, there's the issue. Let's figure it out and take care of it. So yeah, I've just been trying to stop and focus a little more on what's the right solution, rather than just doing the solution that I think's right off the bat.
Yeah.
So, as far as something I'm looking forward to, I really don't know. I mean, life's been pretty chill and straightforward. You have its ups and downs. I think I kind of like Pat, like, you know, after Bloodline, I'm clear for the rest of the year, and so that's kind of nice to always have that little reprieve in the wintertime of
Yeah.
getting to chill, just hang out with family, and like rather like not only focusing on the family but making excuses to get together with friends and do things like that, because during the summer and stuff with music and just life in general, everything's busy, right? So we don't get that intentional time to really spend with our friends. And I was lucky enough to do that. Just I think it was last weekend we got to go camping with some friends, and it was a little more intentional. And yeah, so just doing some more stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah. Reprieve is always good.
Yeah.
All right, South, take us home.
I continue to push myself to try and communicate with as much tact and bravery as I can muster, where I think we are, what I think it means, and where I think we're headed on kind of that macro. I'm kind of very terminally plugged into where things are going and what's happening. It's just kind of how my brain is. I am personally pushing myself and have been for a while now to help as best I can to organize my community, to figure out groups of people to come together and try and figure out how we help the folks around us feel safe at a time where it seems impossible for anyone to feel safe. So it's hard. I can be a very opinionated soul, and putting those opinions to the side for the greater organizational good is not always something that I do naturally. And so it's been a lot of the Democratic Socialists are good folks, and just because they're not all anarcho, anti, aren't all the way over to the as lefty as I am, then that's all right, like. And those are just two, very inside baseball of like the 7 people listening that know the history of the DSA and anarchists will get a chuckle out of that, and everyone else will be like, I don't know any of those words or what they mean. But trying to do that kind of stuff, trying to not just sit and worry and watch, but to figure out ways to be proactive. That's what I continue to push myself to do. And it's not easy. And anyone, I'll this is a little, my 2 cents, my advice to everyone listening is, if you ever walk into a room and somebody presents themselves like they've got it all figured out, leave that room immediately. just leave, try and get others to leave with you. It's a bad scene. Anyone right now who if you walk into any room where they're organizing and somebody tells you they know exactly what to do, that's not cool, because nobody knows exactly what to do right now. We're all figuring it out as we go. Yeah. So yeah, what I am looking forward to is Bloodline, which will be over by the time you hear this. But that's my favorite thing that to be a part of all year. I love Bloodline. It just feels like a very special place to me. And I'm excited to write some new songs, which is not easy. Like, one, man, I don't even know how to explain the post recording a record, like creativity wipe that it is for your brain. as a songwriter, but like it's all there. Like all the good stuff that I had piled up, it's all on that record now.
Yeah.
And so like you basically are just starting back at zero and going, I have this one song about my mom, and that's how it kind of starts. Is you get the one song, and then who knows how long, but eventually you'll kind of piece together the second one, and hopefully in another 6 months or a year, maybe I'll have enough stuff cobbled together to come to these guys in a more organized way and go, all right, let's try and figure out how to squeeze some time into everybody's schedule to start working on these. But I love making music with these guys. Like they have to deal with it all the time. I will just like sappy message these guys randomly, and because it'll just be on my heart that I just love both of them, and how safe and trusting they are both with me and to me in this kind of project that has become a big part of all of our creative lives, not just mine, but like we all share in it. Like this last record, like I said, we recorded it at the well ourselves. We mixed it, Patrick did most of the heavy lifting, but we mixed it ourselves. Like we just poured a lot of energy and emotion into it, and I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
it's a great record. Everyone should check it out if you haven't. Yeah. So, all right. Well, you're all doing great work musically and beyond. So, yeah, Patrick, South, and Brett, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Might be Dead Birds or Kylie the following week.
Just got us all three.
Oh,
Let's go.
Erica's on the record.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she plays mandolin on Beautiful Truth, and then she sings and plays banjo on A Little More, a Little Less.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Is it okay to unplug this?
yeah, you're good.